Hey guys, welcome back to part 6 of working on the combine rotor. Well, you're probably wondering, what are we looking at right now? Well, I've got this gearbox loaded up here in the back of my truck. We're going to head over to the dealership, so I'm going to bring you along. Alright, we're coming around the west side of Logansport, Indiana, getting ready to cross the Wabash River. Ah, there it is. There's looking off to the east. So we're going to head on over here to Plevna Implement, which, oh, if you know where Kokomo, Indiana is, Plevna Implement is just east of there, east of the Kokomo Airport. And we've dealt with them now for, oh wow, a long time. And they've always been really good to work for and everything like that, and work with. And so I'll bring you back in when we get over there. I'll show you around over there what's happening. Alright, we're coming up here, the little town of Plevna. Like I say, this is just east of the Kokomo Airport. Got all kinds of goodies out here. In fact, when I get ready to leave here, I'll drive around, take a look at all the goodies they got out here in the parking lot. But I'm gonna run in here and talk to them and get this gearbox unloaded. Like I say, we've dealt with them for years. They've always been real good to deal with. They sell lawnmowers. In fact, I'm pretty sure they're a big dealer with Hustler lawnmowers, and of course they got the little compact Massey Fergusons. In fact, that sign over there, I don't know how well you can read that. They're a Massey, White Planter, Fint, Rogator, Gleaner. So they got pretty much everything AGCO has to offer. Alright, just got the gearbox dropped off out here in their shop, heading back out. Got a whole bunch of draper heads. They got several of those big Fint momentum, I think is what they call them, planters. Even got a big land roller. Got several Fint tractors, and there's the planters. They talk them up pretty big, so got the J&M grain carts. Oh, there's more Fint tractors. Alright, I just jumped across the road here to the other lot. There's a Fint 7 combine. Gleaner S98. Man, them things need to be cleaned out. They're full of bean junk. There's a Gleaner S97. Nice looking machines. Well, I think on this side of there's a Massey combine case sprayer. I want somebody to trade that in, because they're not a case dealer. But this side of the lot over here is, I think, where they usually keep a lot of their used equipment at. There's a Guringhoff draper head. I've seen where Guringhoff is now making draper bean heads. And so, got all kinds of goodies over here. White planters. Alright guys, well, that lets you see Plevna Implement over here east of Kokomo, Indiana. So, like I say, these are good guys to work with. Alright, well, I'm heading out over here. I'll probably bring you back in on this video when I get the gearbox back to the shed. Alright, it's a couple weeks later. I got the gearbox back. They got it all rebuilt. They said, surprisingly, all the bearings inside still look like brand new yet. Can't beat that. So they put new seals in right here. new seals in right over there where it was leaking oil, and I see they put a new seal in here on this shifter. That's what your gear shift lever hooks up to. So I've got the R52 sitting over there at the end of the shed. Just started it, that way it's warming up. So I'm going to try and bring you along and show you putting this thing back up inside there. My dad's going to be coming down here after a while, so he'll be helping he'll help run the boom truck, and we'll try and get this gearbox put back up into that frame. All right, I got the boom truck set up. Now you can see the rope up there. I'm getting ready to drop it down through the top, and got the chain deal going to get chained up here. Just talked to Dad, he's getting ready to head this way and help me out. So I'll bring you along here once we get ready to start pulling this up inside. Okay, up. A little more. Hold it. Okay, up. A little more. On up. More. Oh. Hold it. Up. There we go. Okay, up. More. Hold it. Up. Hold it. Okay. Up. Hold it. Okay, down on the rope. Hey, that worked. I stuck that pry bar into it and it rolled it. Now let's see if I can take and put a screwdriver straight into one of them bolt holes. Yep, getting there. There we go. Okay. If I can get one bolt hole lined up, that'd be perfect.
That'd be great if you get one started.
Worst part about this is getting it lined up. Okay, you got me on the radio?
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready to lower down?
Play with the steps. I'm set down right now, or you want to go down now?
Yeah, go ahead and down slow, and let's see what happens. It might help to line the top one up.
I'm going to give it one bump down.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if it'll react that quick. Wait, okay, try it. Okay, yeah, it didn't even move.
I saw the big spool move. Okay, I'll try one more time.
Okay, hit in. Okay, hold it. Okay, that got one bolt started. Perfect. I'm going to put the two top ones in, and that'll hold everything in place. Oh, no, that one's not lined up quite. He's going to have it. Drop it. Okay, you got me on the radio still?
Yep.
Alright, give it one bump down. I got one bolt in, now I got to get the other side.
Okay, one bump down coming.
Okay, hold it right there. I should be able to pry it up now with the punch. Well, oh, there we go. Okay, get that punch jammed in there. Perfect. I can tell you one thing, if you don't have a crane or some kind of boom truck or an overhead lift or something, you're not going to do this job very easy. Okay, that's got that. Now I'll take my impact, snug these two bolts up, and then I'll have it. And I can do everything else inside the shed. Okay, there's that. And that. Thankfully, those are all grade 8 bolts. Well guys, that's got the gearbox put in the combines, and I'm going to go ahead and put it back in the shed. Once I get the combine brought back inside the shed, then I can take and put the rest of those bolts in and start putting the rotor drive belt on. And the rotor is right back there underneath the sprayer. I can put that back into it, and so that'll work. Alright, that's got the combine back down here. Put back inside the other end of the shed. And tell you what, I'll just make as part of this video, I'll go ahead and show you getting the rest of those bolts in up here, getting stuff lined up, and the rotor belt, and I think one other belt over here, getting that put back on. And so I'll get my stuff, and we can go ahead and get to work on it. Okay, I pulled the combine back down here on this end of the shed. That way I'm down here where I can use the forklift and that kind of stuff. So we're going to jump up here and start getting those bolts put into that gearbox. All right, I'm going to take and Loctite all these in. I was hoping to try and use my torque wrench on them. Problem is though, my torque wrench is too big. I don't have enough room to swing with the thing. And so I'm going to Loctite them. I'll hit them with the impact. They're grade 8s. I know it'll work because originally when I took these bolts out, and surprisingly, there was no Loctite on them at all, which you would have thought they would have had Loctite on these. So I'll just hammer them down at the impact. They're all grade 8s, and that'll work. So I'll go ahead and get the rest of these put in and bring you back in. I have all the bottom bolts in. Once I tighten these bottom ones up, then I'll take the 2 top ones out. Those are the ones that you saw me put in when we remounted the box. Loctite them. Now I'm going to take, in fact, I've done this on other videos in time past. I'm going to put a little bit of oil right underneath the shoulders of them bolts. That way, when I go to tighten them up with the impact, it doesn't bottom out on just dry, bare metal. A neighbor of mine taught me this trick here several years ago. And when I overhauled the motor on the 4840 last year, there in the winter of 2024, I made sure to do this exact same thing to all the head bolts. That way, when the shoulders of the bolt come down or come up against or bottom out, it's not sitting there. It doesn't just hit bare metal or dry metal and stop. Alrighty, now I'll spin them top 2 out. Okay, he's loose, and that one's loose. And I'll do the exact same thing to them. Alright, that's got them. We're good to go. Okay, I'm done up top for right now. They're in the cage. So now I'm over here on the right hand side, and we'll get to work getting the rotor belt put on. I'll take this faceplate back off, put the rotor belt in, and then also the tailings and clean grain elevator drive belt as well, and then the right hand side will be done. Take the big washer back off, take the faceplate off. There we go. And set that off the side somewhere. Okay, well, I'll grab the belt, put it up in the top sheave, put it down here, and we'll be ready to put the faceplate back on. Alright, that's got the belt set up into the sheave. Now, since that thing is actually spring loaded, sometimes what I'll do is I'll jam a pry bar into the bottom of it. And if you can make it work, try and separate that, or kind of compress that spring so that the belt will begin to kind of fall down between the inner and out, the inside and outside plate. Problem is that it keeps wanting to spin on me. So may I try and walk it down using the bottom pulley. Okay, well, the belt does fit around those pins. We'll go ahead and put the outer plate on. There we go. Get that washer and big lock nut put back on there. Now, once you begin to tighten that down, you'll want to roll the machine. That way you can begin to pull this belt down between the upper sheave. Like I say, with it being spring loaded, it's hard to get to go down in there until you can begin to put a pull onto it. So turn it, then tighten up the lock nut. Turn again, keep tightening up the lock nut, and it'll keep pulling it down. Well, it'll pull the belt down so far until this here bottoms out, which is what you want. Okay, I've got my torque multiplier here. This thing is 1 to 4. So it's 3/4 drive on this side, 1/2 inch on this side. So 100 foot-pounds here is 400 foot-pounds here. And if I remember right, that thing is 400 foot-pounds what you tightened up to. So I got my handy dandy torque wrench. We'll set him at 100, and when it starts clicking, should be good to go. Alrighty, we're beginning to tighten him up. I put a pry bar here in the sheave, that way it can't turn. So now we just sit here and ratchet until it begins to snap. Got my torque wrench set at 100 foot-pounds. Oh, it's wanting to slip on the belt. Well, let's see here. May I take it off? Redo it. Give it a spin. There we go. That's better. Okay. Now let's begin to tighten the belt up more. Okay, we'll throw that back in. If you've never used one of these torque multipliers, they are nice. Although I do have a 3/4 inch torque wrench, but for small areas, the multiplier is a lot more handy. Okay, well, I keep running into the trouble. It keeps wanting to slip. Okay, well, I'll show you another trick I do to stop that. I'm over here on the left-hand side now. Here's the main clutch armature. Something I'll do, get the light out of the way, is if you can find a break somewhere, like right there, go and drop a pry bar into that. And now that'll lock it up. Just make sure you take that pry bar out before you start the machine. That would not be good. Hey, that's got it. Perfect. There's 400 foot-pounds. Because one time I almost forgot to take and pull that pry bar out, and that would not be good trying to start the machine with that pry bar jammed in that armature. Okay, take that thing out. And of course the belt's loose because it got pulled deep into that spring-loaded top sheave. But, well, once I pull the pry bar out on the other side, if you just spin this, the top sheave will close right back up. Now I got the pry bar out. Okay, we're beginning to tighten back up. There we go. Alrighty, that should have it. Now, just gotta put the oil line in. Like a little swivel. And I think that's an 11/16. There we go, good to go. Next thing we got to do is take and put this belt on. No, just got to get that belt put around that big pulley.
You've got her all anchored in up there?
Yeah, I got those top bolts put in
And you got
before I put the belt on.
You get the new plastic line in?
No, I can do that whenever. I actually need to get some new line.
Oh, okay. It almost looks like it's got oil in it. Did you put oil in it?
No, it's last little dab that oozed out of there. Now I just gotta get this tensioner, tighten it up, and that belt right there will be on.
Okay.
Well, the belt's on. Dad stopped by, had to grab some stuff, so he stepped in here to see what I was up to. Now he's heading off to go check on a couple of things. So we got a big cold snap coming through. I'm gonna get an extension on that. Thing I'll do though is I'll throw a little WD-40 on that, and that'll just help it spin down better. All right, that's got it. It bottomed out against that jam nut. That's what you want. Last thing I gotta do here on this right hand side is put this gear shift back in here. That might be a little tricky. Try and get them bolts to line up. Well, that'll work right there. Get one started, then I can get that top pipe tube stuck onto the shifter pin stuck out of the side of the box up there. And there we go. That's better. Okay, now I just got to put the rest of the bolts in, tighten them up. This job here will be done. Getting these bolts tightened down now. Okay, that's got that. Now I'll jump up top side and put that tube on the shifter pin, and that'll have it. Okay, we're up on top here looking down on top of the gearbox. Oh, there we go. Get the little cotter key pulled out of that little pin. Now get it stuck on that shifter. And that'll work. It's kind of froze up too. There we go. Let's see if we can drop that little pin. If it'll go. Alrighty, that's got him. I put the clip in. This job's done. Alright guys, well, that's got this right hand side all done. And so I'm going to call this an end of the video. So take care. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time.